So, if you're worried you have marital debt, let me tell you a little bit about what counts as marital debt. Marital debt or community property debt are debts that are incurred during your marriage. So, if you or if your spouse took out student loans before you got married, don't worry about it. That's pre-marriage. If your spouse, has big credit card debt from before you got married, don't worry about it. If he or she bought a car before marriage, don't worry about it. But once you get married, any debts that you incurred during your marriage are likely going to be community property debt. And that's okay. But the issue with community property debt when you get divorced is that it needs to be divided 50-50. That's something you should really keep in mind if you're still married and you're considering divorce. Because if you have a spouse that has a spending problem where he or she is abusing his or her credit card and using it for huge purchases that you can't afford, you're likely going to be on the hook to contribute to those debts 50% up until you decide to file for divorce or up until your official date of legal separation. Once you file for divorce, that petition for dissolution, or if you get legally separated before then, that date can kind of start the clock of you no longer having to have these community property debts. Once you're you file for legal separation, or we can show your date of separation. After that date, anything he or she puts on that credit card or spends is his or her own separate property debt. So you're no longer responsible for it. So that's something a lot of people don't think about when they choose to kind of stay married, even though they really want to get divorced, is, this community property debt that's continuing to accumulate while you're still together. So if you're worried about your community property debts, come see us at Federal Family Law and we'll help you.